Hello everybody, I am Shriti Parashar and in this video we'll be focusing on nutrition in plants. We all know that all living organisms need food. But why do we need food? Organisms need to take food to obtain energy, for growth, and to repair or heal the damaged body parts. The process of taking in food by an organism is known as nutrition. Plants can make their own food, but animals depend for food on plants. In this video, we'll be looking at mainly two types of nutrition. The two modes of nutrition are autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. As green plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis, they are known as autotrophs, and the mode of nutrition followed by them is called autotrophic mode of nutrition. Green plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis, wherein raw materials such as carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, and chlorophyll combine to make glucose. Roots of plants absorb water, sunlight is obtained through the sun, and solar energy is absorbed by chlorophyll, the green pigment that is present in the leaves. Plants have tiny pores on their leaves, which are known as stomata. The carbon dioxide enters into the plant through the stomata. There are a number of stomata on the surface of the leaves of the plants. Each stoma is surrounded by a pair of guard cells. The opening and closing of stomatal pores in the leaves is controlled by the guard cells. The carbon dioxide gas present in the air enters the leaves of a plant through the stomatal pores present on the surface and utilized in photosynthesis. The oxygen gas is produced in the leaves during photosynthesis and it goes out into air through the same stomatal pores. The stomatal pores of leaves open only when carbon dioxide is to be taken in or oxygen is to be released, otherwise they remain closed. These are diagrams showing open stomata and closed stomata. The plants take water needed for photosynthesis from the soil. Soil always contains some water in it. Water present in the soil is absorbed by the roots of a plant and then transported to the leaves through the vessels which run like interconnected pipes throughout the roots, stem, branches and leaves. The tiny pipe-like vessels which transport water from the roots of the plants to its leaves are called xylem. The plants also need minerals to make food other than carbohydrates. The minerals dissolve in water present in the soil and get transported with it. Chlorophyll is a green substance which is present in the leaves of plants. It is the presence of chlorophyll which makes leaves of plants look green. Chlorophyll can absorb the energy from sunlight. The sunlight energy absorbed by the chlorophyll is used to combine carbon dioxide and water in the green leaves to produce food like glucose. The sunlight supplies energy for the food making process called photosynthesis. The sun's energy or solar energy is captured by plant leaves with the help of chlorophyll and converted into chemical energy of food. Thus, solar energy is converted into chemical energy during photosynthesis. Now let's talk about the second mode of nutrition, the heterotrophic nutrition. Organisms which cannot make food themselves by the process of photosynthesis and take food from green plants or animals are called heterotrophs, and their mode of nutrition is heterotrophic nutrition. All the non-green plants and animals, including human beings, are heterotrophs. The non-green plants do not have chlorophyll for carrying out photosynthesis, so they depend on other organisms for obtaining their food. Although animals are categorized as heterotrophs because they cannot make their own food, they depend on plants or other animals for obtaining food. Heterotrophic plants can be divided into two main groups: parasites and saprophytes. A plant which lives on or inside another organism and derives fruit from it is called a parasite. Those non-green plants which obtain their food from the living bodies of other plants or animals are called plant parasites. The living organism is called the host of the parasite. An example of parasitic plant is Cuscuta. It is called a marble in Hindi. Cuscuta plant does not have chlorophyll. We can see Cuscuta plant as a yellow tubular structure twining around the stem and branches of a tree. The tree on which Cuscuta plant climbs is called its host. Since the Cuscuta plant does not have green pigment of chlorophyll, it does not synthesize its own food. We find that Cuscuta plant depends on other plants for obtaining food. Similarly, mistletoe, wheat rust, and corn smut are also plant parasites. Those non-green plants which obtain their food from dead and decaying organic matter are called saprophytes. Non-green plants called fungi derive their food from dead and decaying matter, so fungi are saprophytes. Some of the common fungi are mushrooms, bread molds, and yeast. So we can say that fungi such as mushrooms, bread mold, and yeast are saprophytes. In other words, they obtain food from dead and decaying matter. The saprophytic plants secrete digestive juices on the dead and decaying organic matter and convert it to a solution. They absorb the nutrients from this solution. This mode of nutrition, in which plants take nutrients from dead and decaying organic matter, is called saprophytic nutrition. The plants which use saprophytic mode of nutrition are therefore known as saprotrophs. There are some green plants which obtain their food partly from the soil and atmosphere and partly from small insects. Those green plants which obtain food partly from insects and partly from the atmosphere are called insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants are also known as carnivorous plants. They have specialized leaves to catch insects. The insectivorous plants grow only in the soils which do not contain sufficient nitrogen mineral. These insectivorous plants trap insects by various methods, kill them, and digest them to obtain nitrogen compounds for their growth. Some common examples of insectivorous plants are pitcher plant, sundew, Venus flytrap, and bladderwort. In the pitcher plant, the lamina or blade of the leaf is modified into a hollow tube called pitcher. The leaf apex forms a lid which can open or close the mouth of the pitcher. Inside the pitcher there are hairs which are directed downwards. When an insect falls in the pitcher, the lid closes automatically. The trapped insect gets entangled into the hair of the pitcher plant and hence cannot come out. After some time, the insect dies in the pitcher plant. The walls of the pitcher secrete digestive juices which digest the proteins present in the body of insect to form simpler nitrogen compounds like amino acids. These simpler nitrogen compounds are absorbed by the walls of the pitcher and used by the whole pitcher plant. Insectivorous plants are partial heterotrophs. They get some food by photosynthesis and some by eating insects. The living together of two different species of plants, as if they are parts of the same plant and help each other in obtaining food, is called symbiosis. And such plants are known as symbiotic plants. This type of nutrition involving symbiosis occurs in the plants called lichens. In lichens, the green colored part is the alga and the non-green plant is the fungus. They live together. Alga is an autotroph and the fungus is a saprophyte. The fungus holds the alga cells in its mat of web-like hyphae, thin filaments. The fungus plant absorbs water and mineral salts from the surroundings and supplies them to alga, and the alga, being green in color, having chlorophyll, prepares food by the process of photosynthesis and shares it with fungus. Thus, both alga and fungus gain mutually from one another by living together. This condition is called a symbiotic relationship.